The importance of accreditation being examined at a National Evaluators Workshop. Parliamentary Representative for Vieques, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, speaks to constituency development under his leadership. And 3 Dominicans to participate in the annual International Diabetes Congress to take place in Australia next month. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Pearl Fontaine.
And I'm Tarnia Green. Stay with us for the details of the headline stories and others coming up right after the break.
If you can believe this.
Come by my house and let me show you some movies.
Why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Welcome back. The National Accreditation Board of Dominica began its 3rd annual External Evaluators Workshop on Monday. The 3-day seminar was facilitated by Dr. Ruby Allen, President of the Caribbean Area Network for Quality Assurance in Tertiary Education, and Jason Stafford, co-facilitator. Rock Bruno, the Executive Director of the board, gave a brief overview of the board's mandate.
The National Accreditation Board was created by an Act of Parliament number 13 of 2006, and our mandate really consists of 2 things essentially. The first thing is to assure the quality of tertiary education that is offered in Dominica, and the second one is to improve the quality of tertiary education that's offered in Dominica. And hence our 3rd workshop, where we train external evaluators to use the standards that we have created for both registration and the accreditation of tertiary educational institutions operating in Dominica.
Dr. Francis Severa stated that this workshop is critical for any society. Accountability and integrity, according to Dr. Severa, are the words that come to mind when he thinks of accreditation.
Education is a very, very vital and important commodity, but it is, in a sense, idiosyncratic. It is peculiar because it's one of those commodities that you can share with someone else without losing it yourself. It is much like love. Love that is kept inside will surely fade someday. The only gifts you ever keep are those you give away. Education is something like that, but it must be quality. And if our country is to have any chance of success, any chance of competing with the global village, and in fact, accreditation has become very important because of globalization, this word that we like to use a lot, sometimes Luce. But if we have to have any chance, our people are to be made portable. Our people can go to Trinidad, can go to Mexico, can go to New York, and their degrees will be recognized immediately. Then we have to ensure that our institutions are accredited. But the institutions which accredit us must themselves be reputable institutions and those that are recognized.
Dr. Severa also noted that the Ministry of Education and the National Accreditation Board of Dominica both recognize the importance of accredited tertiary institutions, hence the reason for the workshop. Dr. Ruby Allen spoke about the objective of the evaluators workshop.
Education plays a very critical role. So when we talk about quality assurance and accreditation, it has to come home to us at an individual level, that this quality is an improvement in the quality of life and in the quality of living. And so the workshop that we're going into for the next 3 days will train evaluators who will be able to take standards developed by the National Accreditation Board and go into institutions in Dominica and in other countries in the region and to assess and to evaluate the quality of teaching, the quality of learning, the quality of the facilities, the quality of the assessment or the examination, to ensure that, in fact, when graduates come out of those institutions, they are well prepared to contribute to their own development, well prepared to contribute to their families and their communities, and certainly well prepared to contribute to the development of the CARICOM region.
A Caribbean qualifications framework is now in the process of being implemented. Dr. Allen spoke about that in more detail.
This CARICOM qualifications framework, it's being called, is going to be a 10-level framework that spans from the basic entry level to the education system, which is primary, right through secondary, including technical vocational education and training, and going straight up to the doctoral level. It creates a seamless education and training system so that we can plan for and monitor the progression of any CARICOM citizen from the entry into education right to the highest level that he or she wants to achieve. What it does as well is to standardize the requirements for different qualifications within a country and across the region. So at the moment we have a situation where a certificate in Dominica by one institution may not be the same as a certificate offered by another institution in Dominica, or one offered in Trinidad and Tobago or St. Lucia. The CARICOM qualifications framework will ensure that when something called a certificate is offered in one territory, it is going to be comparable to a certificate offered in another territory, ensuring that the person who holds that certificate has the same kind of skills and competencies and is able to do the same thing.
Chandler Hyacinth, Acting Senior Administrative Officer, represented the Ministry of Education.
The Ministry of Education attaches great importance to quality assurance, especially what is offered at higher education institutions in Dominica. And we hope that the discussion over the next 3 days will help shape the future of quality assurance for us here in Dominica.
According to Hyacinth, procedures and standards of monitoring and assessments have evolved over the years, and Dominica has to keep abreast.
Many countries are undertaking transformations in their education systems, especially in the area of technical vocational training, and more particular towards effective management of those systems. Quality assurance is used to steer this transformation. Accreditation is a complementary tool in the process of, and the process of external evaluation is the first step.
Hyacinth believes this workshop is vital as Dominica needs to protect itself as a community against institutions that are out to take advantage of individuals. She says accreditation matters as it helps to maintain academic values and it serves the public's interest.
In other news, the Fire and Ambulance Department underwent 1 full week of training in emergency care and treatment, ECAT, from November 18 to the 22nd. The training was sponsored by the Pan American Health Organization in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. The ECAT training, organized for first responders, is a continued effort of PAHO and the Ministry of Health in ensuring that emergency responders give the best treatment to patients before they are transported to a medical facility. Chief Fire Officer Josiah Dupe, at the closing ceremony of the training on Friday, expressed gratitude to PAHO and the Ministry of Health for sponsoring and delivering the program. He said the training will continue to help upgrade the level of care provided by first responders.
This second ECAT program further increases our capacity to respond to disasters and emergencies. I'm sure you will agree with me that although the skills that you would have learned here this week are not totally new, I am sure that they would have served as a refresher to you, and in some cases it would have given you exposure to new concepts, particularly of current practices in our field.
The training was facilitated by Peter Burgess, PAHO's senior instructor. First responders were able to improve their skills in bandaging, splinting, lifting of patients, and basic treatment and diagnosis of patients, among others. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Nicholas Bruno, in his brief remarks, recognized the importance of the work done by emergency responders and admonished them to put what they have learned to proper use. He spoke of government's commitment to ensuring that the fire and ambulance service is well equipped to get the job done.
The Government of Dominica, through the Ministry of National Security, Labour and Immigration, recognizes the importance of the function undertaken by our fire officers. The absence of adequate firefighting ability and emergency response has a significant negative effect on our social and economic environment. Conversely, the presence of effective emergency services engenders social comfort and generally improves the enabling environment for individuals and businesses alike.
24 participants received certificates of completion at the end of the program. 21 fire officers, 2 members of the Cadet Corps, and 1 community emergency responder.
Parliamentary representative for the constituency of Vacaz, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, feels strongly that his constituents have seen significant developments in the area under his leadership. Speaking at a community meeting on Monday, the Prime Minister listed 3 primary areas in which improvements can be noted, beginning with the road network, which has made commuting hassle-free. The Prime Minister went on to discuss the ever-important area of education.
When I became the Parliament, less than 5% of our students who graduated from high school had access to the college. And today it is 92% of our high school graduates. When I became a Parliament, about 27% of our primary school graduates had access to the college, to the high school. Now it is 100%. And gone are the days when our students would have to hitchhike to go to school. I walked from PSS to Blenheim sometimes. And I walked from PSS to Bourne and Dodan sometimes. And today our students have their lunch at 1:30 in the afternoon here in Vacaz. And our students can go to the college because of the investments the government has made in the college. By creating the state college and thereby improving access to the college. And also, most recently, investing over $30 million to construct a new college for our students. When I went to college, not very long ago, I was the only person, not only from Vacaz, but for the whole constituency attending the college at the time. And when I taught there were 1 or 2 students from Vacaz attending the college. And some people back then felt there was nothing wrong with that.
The community meeting on Monday was to discuss with the residents the upcoming commencement of a $1.3 million water supply system in the area. This, their parliamentary representative considers a laudable feat.
Can you imagine Australia in 2000, Gourmet and Tobino and Monsalvo had no pipe-borne water at their homes? None. And there was no plan on bringing water to these people. And people felt it was impossible to bring water to these people. It is costing us, those of you from Tobino and Gourmet and Monsalvo and so on, it is costing us some money because we have to run a generator to ensure that you can pump your water up. But I believe that it is monies well spent because water is too important to our health and to our way of life for us not to have access to it in our homes.
The Viacas MP believes that, quote, extraordinary things, end quote, are being done in this country, especially as compared to others in these tough financial times.
And Dominica's head of state, His Excellency Charles Sovereign, is now better acquainted with what goes on at the Workshop for the Blind, or Abilities Unlimited. Last week, he paid his first official visit to the workshop, where he had the opportunity to interact with workers and see firsthand what they produce. The workshop, which is located in McIntyre Lane in Goodwill, is currently managed by Miss Annie Anthony.
It's really a workshop not only for blind persons, but it's comprised of persons of different challenges. We've got blind persons, we've got people who can't hear, people who can't speak, and basically slow learners. So we have a combination of challenged individuals. That's why you may see on our brochure not only the workshop for the blind, but we have added to it abilities unlimited, because we are putting forward our strengths and not our weaknesses.
The Workshop for the Blind was founded on October 5th, 1964, to allow people with disabilities to learn how to create local craft items. Ms. Anthony explained that at the workshop, items such as baskets, handbags, dolls, table mats, letter holders, and even small baby baskets are manufactured.
I'm proud of this institution. We've been here active, going strong, and producing a large variety of baskets. We make here baby cribs, laundry baskets, shopping baskets, picnic baskets, table mats, and if you look across, you will see a variety of local material which we have turned over and created items like the bill plaques, the wall plaques, shopping bags, table mats, and many more. Anything that someone would bring in here, we try to mold it, design it, create it, and make it to the best of our abilities for the customers.
President Savra is impressed with the quality of work done at the workshop. He views the workshop as providing an opportunity for members to showcase their varied talent and skills.
Certainly, all those associated with this facility should be proud of the tremendous work which is done here and the excellent quality of the work that you do here. I would hope that the community at large would support the work that you do, patronize the products that you produce so as to give the necessary encouragement to the workers and the staff as they use their skills and their talents to keep themselves fully engaged, fully occupied, and to help themselves, so that the fact that they may be challenged should not be an impediment to living a full life and being able to use the talents which they have to help themselves.
The Workshop for the Blind celebrated its 49th anniversary on Saturday the 5th of October. Meantime, the country's head of state, through the President's Charities Foundation, last Friday made a financial donation to management of the Workshop for the Blind. This money was made possible through proceeds of the President's annual Charities Dinner held earlier this year. The donation was presented by the wife of the President to Miss Anthony. Rhea Raymond expressed heartfelt thanks for the donation.
On behalf of us here, board members, employees, and staff of Workshop for the Blind, we would like to extend a hearty thank you to Your Excellencies for Christmas safe present here this morning. We thank you for that you have done for so far, and to extend your foundation for helping us thus far many years. And we hope so that in the future that you continue to extend your nice hand to us.
Raymond presented the President with a handmade basket as a token of appreciation for his visit. The Workshop for the Blind receives an annual subvention from the government of Dominica to assist with its day-to-day operational cost.
In more news, the government of Dominica, through the Establishment Personnel and Training Department, continues on its drive to change behaviors, attitudes, and practices of public officers, which will enable them to provide excellent service to customers. On Tuesday, November 26, a workshop on strategies for winning customer confidence, respect, and trust commenced at the Public Service Training Center in Roseau. The workshop formed part of this year's customer service training calendar of events. Acting Senior Administrative Officer in the Reform Management Unit, Cecilia Carr, in delivering remarks at Tuesday's opening ceremony, said participants are expected to learn strategies for gaining the confidence, trust, and respect of internal and external customers.
It is quite possible to have excellent customer service within the public service. Okay? And this is very critical in driving the reforms that are so very important for for the public service and Dominica in general. So with all what is going on today, I want you to have in mind the main objective for the workshop is to change our behavior and to realize the long-term goal of providing excellent service to the public. Okay, and I think it is possible.
She said the workshop would identify 3 major components for delivering world-class service to customers, including a good attitude, people skills, and knowledge of the service provided. Facilitators of the workshop are administrative officers working within the government service, Ms. Joycelyn Irish and Mrs. Lydia Capitole Toussaint. Mrs. Toussaint said her main role as a facilitator would be to deliver the component that deals with helping employees to develop good attitudes and people skills. The methodologies to be used at the workshop will include lectures, PowerPoint presentations, and role plays. It is hoped that at the end of the workshop, participants will go back to their workstations with winning strategies for delivering the kind of service that will encourage customers to do business at various government departments. Well, Tarnia, I actually think that these workshops are very helpful. I mean, who wants to go to an institution where there are disgruntled employees who either don't have knowledge of the service that they're providing, or who cannot separate their personal life from their work life? I think these are really helpful.
Yes, definitely. And when we talk about customer service, this is really a very broad topic.
Yeah.
And when we talk about delivering good customer service, this means that we have to take into consideration so many different factors. The importance of a smile, the importance of greeting a customer when the customer comes to the office, the importance of having a proper composure when dealing with customers, the importance of, as you rightly said, knowing the information, having the information on hand to deliver to the customer, the importance of being honest. It's very important to be honest because, you know, you sometimes there are situations where customers come in and seek information and you don't necessarily have that information on hand. But you can say to them that I will follow up, I will inquire, I will research, come back later, we will furnish you with that information. So that is important. Honesty in the service is also very important.
Right. Well, this is what I want to drive home, is that government recognizes the importance of these workshops within the institution. And so I think they have been doing it over the past year, I think twice a month. And I mean, this is commendable that they would actually recommend, you know, these to their employees.
Yes, and these training programs are necessary across the board within various government departments, within the government structure.
That's right.
And you might say that persons at the front desk, they have the pivotal role because they are the ones representing the various, you know, government ministries. So when they answer the telephone, that too is very important. How you answer the telephone is also very important. And also your appearance, your outward appearance,
That's right.
Whether or not you're professionally dressed, professionally attired on the job. All these things form part of customer service. So yes, these workshops, these training programs are indeed timely and very, very, very necessary as we move forward to ensure that the service that we provide as a government service is second to none. And finally, activities marking World Diabetes Month in Dominica will culminate on Saturday, November 30th, 2013, with the carrying of the blue circle diabetes symbol across the country. The Diabetes Cross Country will begin and end at the All Saints University School of Medicine in Roseau. The event is being coordinated by the Dominican National Youth Council, headed by Jaiziah Benoit. World Diabetes Day was celebrated on November 14, 2013. Meanwhile, over 500 diabetics, families and friends from the parish of St. Paul and St. Anne are expected to participate in a healing mass scheduled to take place today, Wednesday, 27th November, at the St. Martin de Porres Chapel in Canefield, commencing at 6 p.m. Parish priest Father Franklin Cuffey will preside over the mass and present the homily. The Diabetic Association is also reporting that President of the Dominica Diabetes Association, Marvelyn Birmingham, Treasurer Lennox Centerme, and Mrs. Eleanor Lambert of the Ross University will leave the island on Thursday, November 28, for Melbourne, Australia, to participate in the annual International Diabetes Congress, which will be held from the 2nd to the 6th of December 2013. The International Diabetes Congress will be held under the theme Diabetes Education and Prevention and hosted by the International Diabetes Federation. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Luce is up next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en Creole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le gouvernement Dominique a mis attention à ces projets géothermiques. Parole ça la sortie du ministre de l'énergie, honorable Ribbon Blackmore.
Là, nous avons bâti ce plan ça. Et bien, là, nous avons aussi bâti plus gros plan. Dominique qui est dans la première place pour avancer. Et bien, Dominique qui est en première place pour faire un environnement primaire pour jeunes monde, pour les gens qui ont l'âge, et bien, les gens qui ont venir. So, les partis ça sont partis qui bien sérieux. Et bien, c'est la seule partie en Dominique qui est avancé Dominique, avec qui sérieux qu'on a avancé Dominique. Vous savez, nous tenions pile le monde qui a parlé contre Dieu féminin. L'année qui passée aussi. Avant, on était fait, avant le Premier ministre était fait. Mais contre Dieu féminin. Mais personne n'a pas fait rien contre lui. À présent, nous sommes bien contents. Nous avons mis effort en place pour avancer effort ça.
En autre nouvelle, un système qui servi comme guideline management solid waste en Dominique, tapez attention pendant un workshop qui tient en Dominique semaine salant. Monsieur Jeno Jacob, c'est officier relations publiques pour management solid waste.
Ces guidelines, c'est disposal, storage, the collection pour zodies Dominique. Et puis ça même vraiment important pour solid waste parce que solid waste fait une guideline à présent pour nos directions en ces parties là. Pour masser les ordures, pour disposer des ordures, pour semer des ordures, pour que les ordures aillent recycle les ordures. Et ça même est bien important pour nous parce que ça même qui bat nous une manière pour nous savoir qui direction solid waste capon. Après nous finir faire ça, c'est un draft que nous avons fait hier et puis après le draft ça là, nous avons envoyé PAO pour PAO analyser. La PAO finit analyser, nous rejoignons encore et puis nous envoyé le gouvernement pour le cabinet garder et puis décider à l'aller et puis d'accord et puis pour faire un changement sur ça à ce différents bulletins que nous avons proposé.
Projet de l'eau pour Gouambé qui commence tout de suite. Parole ça là qu'a sorti officier relations publiques compagnie là, M. Edward Regist.
Tout à l'heure, nous avons préparé pour faire un gros projet en village Gouambé. Là, nous avons lié ces pipes-là sur un côté en l'aléa. Nous avons discuté ça toujours, mais nous avons fait préparation pour nous faire un gros projet en l'aléa aussi, avec pour nous faire manœuvre pour nous mener premier groupe par le village Gouambé, avec aussi Bordeaux avec ces différents places-là. So, Damasco a continué pour faire un pile de travail, tout mon pays.
Et puis finalement, officier volontaires au Japon qui travaille ici, présenté un report à eux pendant une session en hôtel Garaway en Roseau Jardin. Ces officiers-là travaillent en développement community, association Moun Disabilité, ministre santé et puis département poisson. Tous ces officiers-là font une présentation quantité de travail qu'ils fait pendant qu'ils étaient en Dominique. Executive Directeur Association Moun Disability Nathalie Murphy, remercie les volontaires qui assistent pendant Dr. Paul Ricketts, hord ministre santé, aussi oui merci volontaire qui assiste ministre santé, permanent secrétaire Esther Thomas, Aisin Howard Douglas, Augustina Popo qui représente ministre santé, et puis Karen Privot, permanent secrétaire hord en ministre hydrogène, aussi fait présentation. Chef officier pêche, M. Andrew McGlaw, fait une présentation aussi. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nous nouvelles en Creole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Au revoir.
Learn more about the benefits of the ginger root next in your tip of the day.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans, and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Historically, ginger has a long tradition of being very effective in alleviating symptoms of gastrointestinal distress. But that's not all. Modern scientific research has revealed that ginger possesses numerous therapeutic properties, including antioxidant effects.
Ginger also a safe and effective relief of nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. It protects against colorectal cancer, and it also helps to promote healthy sweating, which is often helpful during colds and flus.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
You can friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel.
On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Pearl Fontaine.
And I'm Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching.